The afternoon was waning at the Gorilla Language Center in California. Koko, the world-famous female gorilla who could use more than 1,000 words in sign language, was sitting by the window watching the last rays of sunlight dance on the treetops. Koko sad. Koko want friend, she signed to Penny, her trainer and closest friend. Penny smiled gently. I know you feel lonely, but don't worry. Tomorrow we'll have many interesting things to do. Koko shook her head, her large brown eyes reflecting a deep sadness. Not Penny. Koko want little friend. Koko wants someone to love. Penny understood that despite being surrounded by human love, Koko longed for a special connection, something that she alone could care for and protect. That night, a major storm hit. Rain pounded on the roof and lightning slashed across the sky. Koko couldn't sleep. She sat in the corner of her room clutching a blanket when suddenly a strange sound came from the porch. Sound. Koko here, outside, she signed as Penny rushed in to check. Penny listened and heard it too. A faint cry, almost drowned out by the rain. She opened the door to find a small, soaking wet cardboard box. Inside was a tiny trembling creature, a gray kitten with large round blue eyes, no more than a few weeks old. Oh my, Penny whispered, bringing the box inside. Someone abandoned it in the storm. Koko stared at the tiny creature, completely fascinated. Her large hands opened, signing urgently, Give Koko, baby, give Koko. Koko, this is a kitten. It's very fragile. We need to... But Koko signed back, this time more insistently. Baby cat, Koko care, Koko's baby. Penny hesitated. Through years of working with primates, she knew they could sometimes be unaware of their own strength. But there was something in Koko's gaze, a gentleness, an understanding that made her trust. All right, Penny said, but I'll help you. We need to warm it up first. They named the kitten Whisper for its soft, whisper-like mewing. The first days were tense. Whisper needed bottle feeding every few hours, and Koko insisted on being involved in every aspect of care. What was surprising was Koko's ability to adapt to her new role. She learned to hold the milk bottle with extraordinary gentleness, controlling her 300-pound strength to nurture a creature that weighed mere ounces. She signed constantly, naming every action. Milk for baby, baby eat, baby sleep. When Whisper grew big enough to explore, Koko created a safe space in her room. She arranged blankets into a soft nest and monitored the kitten's every step with serious dedication. Dr. Patterson, the project director, was initially concerned about this relationship, but she couldn't deny the positive changes in Koko. The gorilla's vocabulary expanded as she constantly requested to learn new signs related to Whisper's care. She was less melancholy, more focused in her lessons, and exhibited a kind of joy that the research team had never seen before. As months passed, the relationship between Koko and Whisper developed in ways no one could have predicted. Whisper, now a plump adult cat, showed no fear of her enormous friend. He often slept curled up on Koko's back or played chase with her large fingers. One day, a group of journalists visited the center to write about the language research. When they entered Koko's room, they were astonished by the sight before them, a giant gorilla gently grooming a contently purring cat. This is extraordinary, one journalist whispered. How can they understand each other? Penny smiled. Well, love doesn't always need language. When Koko adopted Whisper, we thought she was just mimicking maternal behaviors she had observed. But this is something deeper. It's genuine empathy, the ability to look at another creature and understand its needs, no matter how different it is. That night, after the journalist had left, Koko signed something new to Penny. Whisper teach Koko, teach love small, teach project weak. Penny felt deeply moved. What do you teach Whisper? She asked. Koko looked down at the cat sleeping in her lap, and her eyes shone with wisdom beyond words. Koko teach Whisper not fear different, and Koko and Whisper different, but same family. Years later, as scientists around the world began to recognize the emotional intelligence and empathic capabilities of animals, the story of Koko and Whisper became iconic. Images of them, the giant protector and the tiny friend, appeared in textbooks and presentations, illustrating a profound lesson about compassion transcending species boundaries. At the center, Koko had developed her own signing system with whisper, gestures and sounds that only they understood. Researchers were particularly impressed to see Koko using sign language to talk to whisper about pictures in books, teaching the cat in her own way. Koko and Whisper learned together, loved together. She would often sign as they looked at photographs together. Then one day, Whisper fell ill. Old age had caught up with the cat, and veterinarians could do little. Koko sensed something was wrong, refusing to leave her friend's side even for a minute. Whisper hurt. Help, Whisper, she signed repeatedly, tears in her eyes. When it became clear that Whisper time was short, the team prepared Koko for the inevitable. They used signs for long sleep and goodbye, trying to explain the concept of death in a way the gorilla could comprehend. On Whisper's final day, Koko held her friend with infinite gentleness. She signed the word sad many times, but then did something that astonished the researchers. She expressed a sequence of signs they had never seen her combine before. Whisper go, whisper safe, Koko always remember. Love never gone. Weeks after Whisper passing, Koko remained subdued, refusing to engage in most activities. But one morning she pulled Penny to the door. Koko want go, Koko want fine. Fine what, Koko? Penny asked. Fine babies need help, like Whisper. Many babies need family. And so, the Gorilla Language Center began a new program, a small shelter for abandoned animals, where Koko served as a special caretaker. Under careful supervision, she was allowed to interact with orphaned kittens, abandoned puppies, and even a lamb rejected by its mother from a neighboring farm. Psychologists and biologists from around the world came to witness this phenomenon, a gorilla who had learned not just human language, but also an innate nurturing ability that transcended our species' boundaries. In an interview, Der Patterson stated, "What Koko has shown us goes far beyond science. She has taught us that the ability to love and care for creatures different from oneself is not uniquely human. It's a language more ancient than any words, a call from the heart that all creatures can understand." Koko, seemingly understanding the importance of her work, signed a simple but profound message to all visitors. Different outside, same in heart. All need love, we all need family. And as the kittens and other creatures grew under her care, eventually being adopted into loving homes, Whisper legacy lived on, not just in the heart of a gorilla, but in the lessons she shared with the world.